here we go, the 8th country, Vanuatu. The first time when I heard about Vanuatu, that was in Australia. One day I met my classmate from Hong Kong, and she was the first one and told me about this country. She told me she wanted to visit this country because it's one of the most happiest country in the world. And by that time I have no idea what is Vanuatu. But when I was traveling around in Oceania, after New Zealand, it's so close, so I decided to go to Vanuatu. And it's a Franco-speaking country. And luckily, before I arrived, I found myself a host. He's original from France. He was doing volunteer in Vanuatu. And I bought him a gift, a necklace as a gift, and he came to the airport to pick me up because in Vanuatu there's no address. That was really funny. And he picked me up with his motor, and I was so happy to sit at the back of the motor. I feel just so free. And then everyone who engaged in eye contact with me on the way to his place, they all gave me a smile. So I smiled to the local people back, and also some tourists who were on the local vehicle. And then during my time were couch surfing at my host place, he already hosting 3 German girls, so it was a little bit crowded. And he also got a Hungarian flatmate. So in the beginning, during his flatmate's away, I was staying in his flatmate's room. But when his flatmate came back, I was sleeping in the kitchen on the floor. So did my host. His neighbor is a Fijian family. They were really nice people. Sometimes during my time waiting for the other 3 German girls to come home for the kids, so they were kindly offer me dinner and then have a conversation with me. And all the neighbors, we have a good relationship. Sometimes they offered me a lift, which are really lovely people. And then I did my very first time practicing yoga with my host's Hungarian flatmate. It was my very first time. The instructor was from New Zealand. So the place was a very lovely location when we were all facing the sea, And I just follow all the action, and then the next day I feel so sore, and I feel, wow, that's like I feel a little bit regret after practicing the yoga, but really, really lovely experience. When I now think about this experience, it's really wonderful. And also I tried the kava, and I would suggest everyone try the kava, but prepare yourself with a lolly because it tastes like mud or something. Though I've never tried mud. And after that, I went to Tana. I flew to Tana from Port Vila to see the active volcano. I still remembered I stayed in a place called the Tana Evergreen. So everyone got a independent villa. And actually during the night I feel a little bit scared because each villa's distance was a little bit it's a little bit far away from each one. And then I was there just by myself, by the river. So in the beginning I was a little bit scared, but not so much long time stay there, because after the volcano I just went back to Port Vila. So I still remember I found myself a guide, and then to drive me to the volcano place, and then follow the guide to climb up, and then to wait until it getting dark. The volcano is an active one. It's just the natural firework of the nature. And it was really amazing. That was my very first time get to see the active volcano. And after that, I returned back to mainland Port Vila. And I still remember that when I returned back, I still got some days before my flight to Fiji. So I was luckily I met some local Chinese. So I met them through WeChat, and then they were inviting me to visit them. So in the beginning, I feel surprised, and then they mean serious. So they came to pick me up, and after that they accommodate me because they give me it's a super nice area. You got your own swimming pool, and I got my own room, and it's a big house, fancy, and there's a dog called Kaisa. And then I still remember during my stay with the Chinese people, and one night there's a storm, and then Kaisa getting so scared. I know I was half awake because I heard the rains, the storm, and then Kaisa just suddenly came into my room, and then he was just so scared. And actually I don't know how to deal with Kaisa, so I just offered my bed to Kaisa. And after that I called the Chinese sister Cici, and then I called to her because during the storm the electricity shut down, so I called the sister's name in the darkness, and then finally she came over to help me to sort it out about Kaisa. But a few years before, I heard that Kaisa passed away. So yeah, wish Kaisa rest in peace. And that was really fun experience. And the Chinese people were originally from the northeast part of China. They are very hospitality. They treat me well. They took me to a Chinese restaurant, and then one day before my flight, they even made me dumplings, because in their tradition, and if your guest just arrived, you have to treat them with noodles. But if your guest is almost supposed to leave, departure, you have to treat them with dumplings. So we made dumplings together, and that was a really wonderful experience. And still now I keep in touch with Cici, which is one of the Chinese girl. And yeah, in my perception, Vanuatu is a really lovely country, because the local women, they all wear their handmade custom. It's like the same style. You will never find it in other place. So it's the island style. And then I think I like Ireland a lot, because they are always relaxed, chill, and this is something very important for me, to have this kind of feeling during my life. Yeah, you have to learn how to sit back and relax. And then the local people are really pure. Not very commercial during my time there, because I didn't see much visitors, so it's not getting very touristy by that time, back to 2013. And of course the cost for living, it's a little bit expensive, because all the products are mainly import from Europe, like in France. And I would like to go back to Vanuatu, because in Vanuatu there is an underwater post office. I've never get to see that, because by that time I don't even know how to diving or snorkeling. So I'd like to go back to Vanuatu to discover more about the ocean there. It's beautiful. And next time I want to visit some cultural village. Get to know more about the locals' culture next time, and the lifestyle over there. So I enjoyed my time in Vanuatu, and then I was lucky, because during my time there I never paid any for accommodation. I was accommodated by French and Chinese people, so I was really lucky. And thank you so much for listening. I'm looking forward to catch you up with the next episode. That will be Fiji. Bula. Alright, thank you so much once again. Bye bye.